Good afternoon here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. Don't be fooled by my, please don't be fooled by my jacket. Frick, I overshot the coldness factor. Please let me know, by the way, if this is working. I've been having some problems with the audio. Can you give me a thumbs up or a little comment to let me know if you are hearing me, or do I have to kind of adjust it? Can you just let me know so that I can continue? There's something really imperative that you guys must know today in Canadian Thanksgiving that I'd like to share. Can you hear? Like a comment. I'd like to hear. Okay, perfect. Hey, good, Sarah. Nice to see you. As I'm way overdressed with a winter jacket, look, these guys are in their shorts, and you know, anyway, I brought it out. It's getting cold because we're starting to get our autumn and winter here in Vancouver, and it's weird leaving Australia when it's frickin' hot and then coming back here. But I just love my beautiful neighborhood in this community in downtown Vancouver. And it forced me on, by the way, for those of you watching and tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from so I can give you a shout out. Chances are I just flew by your place and I wanted to connect with you. Let me know where you're tuning in from. There's something really important for you to know this Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving here in Canada. Thanksgiving weekend. It's different from where you are in the States or Australia or whatever, New Zealand. But what I wanted to do was just to remind you guys, I was sitting here contemplating my gratitude as I'm walking the dogs here, Lucy and Olive, walking them here. Yes, hey Chris, what's up, brother? Wear shorts while you can. Exactly, Nick. So what I just discovered was that when I look back on my year, 1 year ago, it was the wake of me selling my chiropractic practice, and I went through a big identity crisis, which forced me kind of into myself and doing more work and hiring a coach and a mentor to help me through that void. You know, it's like the hero's journey. When you go through, you have like this call to adventure. You're on a hero's journey yourself, and you're in a call to adventure right now, perhaps. I had that call to adventure about 3 years ago, that I was like, all right, I got to get out and start teaching people my overview method all around the world, because there's this secret. I've taken John Demartini's work and I've refined the crap out of it so that you can take a painful 2-day process and really teach it in the deepest way possible. It's not as deep, but the deepest way possible to a 12-year-old, so that they can take all of their stress and their feelings of limbo. It's beautiful in the park. I'm just going to sit down and chat with you. To take all of the beautiful challenges that you're going through, and then turn them into creative fuel. And I just started doing that because I saw patients coming in with all sorts of challenges, health problems, and I knew that they were emotions-based, and I felt like I wasn't doing enough. Like you, Chris, for example, you're in Maple Ridge, one of my former patients. Loved working with you. However, there is a stress component, an emotions component that many people just don't want to deal with. So I started creating these workshops in my practice, and I found that I enjoyed working with the patients that came and participated in all of the kind of possibilities of healing, the emotional and all that. And I just started creating a dream that one day I could only work with those committed to getting to the bottom of it. And so that was about 3 years ago when I made the declaration, and I was in a call to adventure like you are. You're probably in your own version of a hero's journey. And after this call to adventure, you start to experience like newness. Everything is new. And then you get hugely tested in this hero's journey that you're on. It lends to the fact that after you go on this call to adventure, then you're tested. You're tested very with a lot of trials and tribulations. You get hit. There's relationship issues. I went through a divorce. I went through an identity crisis. I went through business kind of like, business relationship breakdowns, with staff, I was just like, and it basically set me to what I call last year, the abyss. So the next stage is basically the falling from grace, the extreme amount of tribulation that you go through, which forces you into some sort of an action that transforms you. In other words, it's actually calling on you to transform. Okay? Was the best choice made, couldn't be happier. Awesome. Way to go, Chris. What happens is you go to the abyss and it forces you into a transformation. And that's what happened last year. And so this Thanksgiving Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend, it's forcing me to look back 1 year, which is what I'd love to do. So what I'm suggesting that you do is to look back 1 year. And it was 1 year ago that I had decided to make transformations in my life, that I decided to hire the right coaches, that I decided to get in alignment with all the relationships in my life that had breakdowns, and to start treating my mind as though it was a garden, to start exercising, to start becoming mindful of other people for the first time in my life, becoming mindful of the impact that I could have on other people, and to start creating fruitful, fulfilling relationships, not just with clients, but with my staff, my team, my parents, like everybody. I just took it on. And it was the hardest work that I've ever had to do, and it was the most humbling work that I've ever had to do. I literally went through an abyss. And so the cool part about that is when you emerge, part of this hero's journey is to get help from others, to see others who are in the same path as you, and to help others through. So I started last year helping others through their abyss. The first client that I took on when I was in that state that really helped me, his name is Devin. And he was a kid who was like, his father committed suicide 2 years prior. His mother has chronic fatigue, chronic illness, on disability, and he's like sitting there depressed and just completely locked. He doesn't enjoy school, doesn't know what to do. Give me a little bit of love and some hearts. Give me some love if you can hear what I'm saying. I'd love for your engagement. Some comments, any questions. Thank you, Chris, for your comments. Please, if you know somebody who really needs a dose of gratitude, please, thank you. Please give them, tag them in this post. This is somebody, you're thinking of somebody right now. Tag them in this post, let them know that you're thinking about them and that you have love for them. Because chances are they probably need it. And that's what I discovered, was that there were times when I was in that abyss, that there were friends that reached out in those times, and you know who they are. I mean, when it's happened with you, you've had certain friends reach out, and my friend Marcelo, and certain friends that, my friend Val, and Amanda was there the whole time, and my buddy George, he was always there, and Eilena, Alex was there. These are people who are now forming my core inner circle, who I love dearly. Those were the people that showed up. So tag the person that you know that really needs to hear this. You could be the one thing that makes a difference for them, because they really need you. And so what I saw from this whole thing was helping other people. And this Devin guy, we were able to help clear, using the overview method, neutralize his perceptions about his father, find his security again, and then be the cause in the matter of his mother's transformation. She calls me and is like, oh my God, what have you done with him? He's changing, and I want in on this too. So she enrolled and started becoming a client as well, and totally cleared a lot of her guilt from her past and all of this self-pity and shame and all that. And now she's starting to make money using her art, which was something that wasn't possible for her ever before. So in those times, reaching out and helping, in those dark times of the abyss, reaching out and helping somebody, really, boom, it boosted my confidence. It elevated me. So find somebody that you can reach out to that you can elevate, number one. Number two, find people that are on your level, like a mastermind, that are kind of there to support you and kind of build you up. And then the top is really start hanging around people who've been through where you've been, who've gone through what you've gone through, and and have gained some mastery over it. And so I look back 1 year with absolute gratitude, like I'm fighting back the tears, because the people that have stuck by me, the people who I was able to help, and then the people who, I reached up to, I reached out to and reached up to, who were doing more of what I wanted to do, and they showed me what was possible. and Josh Wagner, Ed Osborne, Jay Brightlow, all of the guys, Mark Von Muser, all the guys at Clients on Demand, you know, Amanda, my parents who really stepped up, my brother, my niece and nephew, my good friends like Dan, my buddy Dan Zivitz, you know, like stuck there. He's been through my divorce and all that. So I have no choice at this moment to sit back and really, like in, you know, Thanksgiving Day, take the dogs for a walk and really feel that gratitude. When you're doing your gratitude journal or gratitude list each day, if you're one of my clients, you know that that's one of the foundations of what we do together. It's not just sufficient for you to write them out. It's sufficient. It's necessity for you to actually feel them in your body. At the end of the day, gratitude becomes your powerhouse. It becomes that 0 point where everything else becomes possible. I don't care if you're in a dark place right now. I don't care. Well, I do. Obviously, I care. I can empathize. I've been there. I don't mean I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter if. That's what language is important. It doesn't matter if you're in a really dark place and you can't see the light out. It doesn't matter. Here's the fact. Once you can get your body and your mind into a place of gratitude using various forms. I use meditation. I use an overview meditation in conjunction with the overview method which I've come up with, and I teach over a weekend. I teach the overview meditation and the overview method so that you could make this a part of your life that makes your gratitude practice daily, so that you can actually become an inspired leader of your family, of your children, of your partnership, of the company, of your practice, of your patients, of your community, of yourself. And once you learn to become a leader within yourself, amazing things start to happen. You start to look around and there's others around you that just love being in your presence, that want to be around you, that call, you know, it's so cool to have so many options to go for Thanksgiving parties. Last year when I was in an isolated state and telling myself that I was worthless and I was a failure and going through all of that, I wasn't that fun to be around, so I wasn't going out that much. And right now, it's kind of like I set my days up and I ask, you know, what is it that, thanks to my buddy Stephen Gardner, you know, big gratitude to him. I mean, I can't really be where I am right now without Stephen Gardner, and he still teaches me to this day. And one of the 2 questions that he taught me, give you a big shout out, brother. I look forward to seeing you this weekend. 2 questions that he taught me, which came out of the result of our conflict together. He came up with these questions to help heal the conflict that me and him had, and he did it. Well, both of us did it. I take half the responsibility. We had a breakdown in a friendship. This is one of those I was talking about. And he asked the question, you know, what did I contribute to him and what did he contribute to me? So imagine taking the day and asking that in the morning. What do I want to contribute to today? And what do I wish to receive? Everyone's like, you know, just walking around miserable, not asking, what would I love to contribute? And so doing this Facebook Live for you is like one of my many forms of contribution. If I can give you something like an insight that's going to help adjust the course of your day through an adjustment above Atlas, then I've contributed to you. And if you feel that I've contributed, then please share with me some love, because I love to receive love as well in exchange for the contribution. You know, there's many, you know, just be clear on the exchange that you want with people. I would love, like, this is what I'd love to give and this is what I'd love to receive. Thank you. I think that was grace. Which, ironically, gracias, you know, gratitude. It's all about today, baby. Thanksgiving in Canada. And so that's one form. This is what I want to contribute. I want to contribute gratitude. I want to contribute my state of being in such a way that just being in my space creates transformation in you. That's what I've taken on. It's pretty big shoes to fill. Which, when you take stuff like that on, what happens is you attract support and you attract challenge to help you navigate and make sure that you're constantly evolving. Which gives me a lot of gratitude for my partner Amanda, who has been playing that role in a lot of cases, and you've changed my life, so thank you. I have massive gratitude, and I have to give lots of gratitude for these two. Lucy,
Yeah, that's one. Olive. Yeah, that one too. The heart is... Hey, Sarah. Thank you so much for your comments, Sarah. Big love to you, my dear. Gratitude for you. You taught me a few lessons as well, my dear. I look forward to crossing paths with you someday on this beautiful planet. I know it's going to happen. And our next time I'm in Australia, New Zealand, you better be there. Like, seriously, like, we had such a magical time. The heart is magic for miracles. Yeah, absolutely. You want a weekend where you literally learn how to transform that heart into a magic attracting system, broadcasting and receiving system of love. So for those of you, we have 2 spots left for Toronto, where I teach you the overview meditation and the overview method in transforming the stress that's in the way to on the way, so you can leave with more power and freedom and expand in your business, expand in your tribe, expand in your inspired leadership. Because chances are, if you're listening and you're still listening, you're on the path to becoming an inspired leader, which means you have to be an inspired student. You cannot be an inspired leader without being an inspired student. I'm so grateful for my teachers and mentors. Joe Dispenza, Byron Katie, and John DeMartini. All 3 of these people, I have invested thousands and thousands of dollars to be in the same space as these people, and I credit and I'm grateful for what I've learned from these people, and I've just taken on and embodied so that I can elevate my game and then be there for others as well. Grateful for you. Yes, Amanda, oh, you're there, you're listening. Grateful for you, Sarah. Sarah, you know what I'm grateful for? I gotta tell you. To see people who I have been able to help transform while they're going through their abyss, to then come through to the other side and start becoming inspired leaders. Sarah, you're in the path of becoming an inspired leader, and what we did was clear the judgment of self first to step up. Because the thing that's stopping you from becoming an inspired leader is, and for you, Amanda, overview, thanks for making me a student for life. God bless you, Jen. Mwah, love you. The thing that's stopping you from becoming an inspired leader is you dance like you care that people are watching. You know, when you try to dance like no one's watching. When you dance like no one's watching, you're incongruent with what's that word? Self-actualization. Because the actualized person dances like they don't care, like they know that people are watching, but they still don't care. And what inspired this post, I was doing my gratitude and my meditation while I was actually dancing, while I was walking these dogs, and I really discovered something is, there's some music that I've been playing and I'm bumping to it and I can't stop my body from moving. And I found myself going, oh my goodness, I should hold back, because what if people were watching? And I'm like, oh geez, now is the time to freaking let loose. And I started letting loose with it, dancing to only what's in here. So in other words, I put myself on the line and I actually look like a freaking crazy person to the people walking around. To the point where as I'm doing it, I'm just so in my space, I look up and there's people like filming and recording, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, whatever, they're watching, but I don't give a shit. And it forced me to live in accordance. The fact that it's difficult. I got confronted with it, and then I had to go right back into myself and dance like I didn't care who's watching. In other words, the path to an inspired leader is all about putting yourself out there and sharing and sharing and sharing and getting real, which forces you to be congruent with what you're teaching. Because the best gift that I took on when I started teaching this work and leaving chiropractic and just really taking this full on was that it forced me to stop being a hypocrite. And we're all hypocrites, and I catch myself constantly not living congruent with what I'm teaching, and the feelings of I'm a fraud, I'm all of this, they start coming up, they start bubbling to the surface, which the beauty of that is all I have to do is just go right back in and live congruently with what I'm teaching, and then all of a sudden everything starts to fall apart. I'm sorry, all of the doubts start to fall away, and I step up, and it's really neat how it happens. You know what I'm talking about, Sarah? It's the greatest gift is taking that role on, because you know, my next level of coaching is going to be for inspired leaders, specifically that want to take the overview method and want to be able to teach it and put it into their methodology, whatever that is, whether you're a yoga teacher, a naturopath, a chiropractor. You're going to have to help people overcome all of the same shit you had to overcome in order to get there. And this is the shortest distance to overcoming and peeling back the layers, I believe, is the overview method. You can do the DeMartini method, but as many of my my people that I sent over to John's breakthrough experience this weekend, they were like, oh my God, thank God for the overview method for condensing this shit. Like, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, I know. That's why I took his brilliance and I distilled it just so that we can make it easier, so that we could use it daily. And as I'm distilling it, I've now distilled it into a meditation. It's pretty powerful. I take all of my clients on their group calls through that meditation, but what I'm doing is we're evolving consistently, and so the gratitude I have is for my team that constantly holds me accountable, Amanda that holds me accountable to the work, as she plays my humbling circumstance quite a bit, and it forces me to go, all right, you want to help people through their relationship limbo, get past yours, brother. Forces me to go within, to step up, to call myself to a greater cause, a greater calling. Get in on overview, people, ASAP. You dudes, thank you. Jennifer, please, if you've been through my coaching, or you're a client, or you've been through you know, the workshop, please comment. I just would love to hear what your experience was for the others who are paying attention. This is just kind of like a spur of the moment, but it would really be you know, useful, I think. What would you say to those who are on the fence about going in and clearing their shit and getting congruent with all of their lies, their inauthenticity, their bullshit stories, all of their traumas from their past, their anxieties, their insecurities, to learn tools how, when resistance comes up, how to plow through and restore integrity and step up to the next level? I mean, what's it been like for you? What has the experience been like for you? I'm so grateful for this family that is expanding. We have a new group of people that are on board from Australia and New Zealand, and a group that's going to be blown away this weekend in Toronto. Andrea, God bless you, darling. Mwah, you're doing the work. Keep going. Hey, listen, and here's the cool thing. Just started, but has shifted shit quickly. Yeah, Jojo, my home girl from Melbourne. Melbourne. Best investment you'll ever make. Melbourne, Montreal, Andrea. I'm losing my voice. I'm so excited to see you guys. This is Thanksgiving weekend in Vancouver, in Canada. I'm just grateful for this moment. Do it. You'll never look back. It gives you a new level of freedom and perspective of the world. It gives you the tools necessary to bring you back once on course when you deviate. When you deviate, Sarah. Not if, but when. So true. So freaking true. What it's like, you get to finally meet yourself, the real you, and decide who that is every freaking day. And gotta tell you, Jen, I really like the real you way more than the one that I met, because the one that I met wasn't the real you, it was a half you. And the person that I've met and I've witnessed extreme amount of transformation and power and strength and all that, I really love that individual. That's one of the things that I get to do. One of the best parts about my job is that I have this program called Powerfully Aligned Mastermind, and nobody gets in until I do an interview with them. I get to choose. I get all these questions I ask. I go, all right, so what if you had this? What about that? How would you handle this situation? If you didn't do something about, how imperative is this to you? Are you going to do the freaking work? Like, what's at stake if you don't do this? And these people are like hungry for transformation, because I spent 16 years working in a chiropractic clinic, and I love being a chiropractor, but most of the people that came just wanted the quick fix. They wanted just to numb their pain. And now I get to work with people who want to become inspired leaders through their pain, recognizing that that dark passenger isn't going anywhere. It's a part of who you are. And all you got to do basically is to learn how to do the mambo with it. Not the limbo with it, but the mambo. So in order for me to teach that, I got to live it congruently. So I went back into salsa. I'm going back into my performances. I'm taking my performances to another level, my talks, creating possibilities to speak on stages all around the world that really want to see edutainment, power, inspiration, that want transformation from people from that hour, from the beginning to the end, that they feel a shift. It's not just a jacuzzi experience, that they're inspired to take action after a talk. Not just a woo, 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 yay, 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 high five, rev you up type of talk, but truly, deeply transformational. That's really the possibility that I'm inventing. And so the people that I want to work with are the ones that want to be inspired leaders. So I get to travel the world, and people come to me and talk to me, and I go, okay, let me ask you some questions before we take you in. And when you come in, you get to be part of a community, and you are the one that gets to help others. You learn inspired leadership, not just by watching or doing the work and doing the lessons and getting the mentorship, but then you're literally called in to step up and serve somebody in that powerfully aligned mastermind when they're going through a breakdown, and I will literally connect you. I'll go like, Sarah, can you go talk to so-and-so? Jen, can you talk to so-and-so, because I just finished a session with them. They're going through exactly what you just went through. You got to tell them all of your insights as well. And so that's the key, is being around people who are on the same level, that are working towards something greater, and being part of a community. We need that. It's a tribe kind of environment, because my goal is to help raise leaders that become the authors and the leaders of their own tribes. So this is for those who want to really expand on their tribes, and I'm working at mine as well. This year, I got to share with you one of the coolest things that I'm looking back in gratitude. John DeMartini's coming to Vancouver on Tuesday and Thursday. I'm going to both of those talks. I'm spending the whole day with him. Jen and I loved chatting yesterday. It was so great to have the same language. We speak Nima. No. We speak Nima. Yeah, that was Jojo and Janet showed up at the the Overview Brisbane. They saw me speaking at New Zealand Chiropractic College, and they both approached me afterward. Not approached me, I didn't talk to them. They messaged me, and they got into my schedule and said, we want in. Whatever is going on, we're ready. We're sick and tired of where we're at. We're ready to take the next step. It was meant to be. And so these two classmates who are now out of practice for about 10 years, out of practice for 10 years, and best friends. Like, you see them when they're together, they're like sisters, man. They're like soulmates. It's so beautiful to watch the two of them, and they jump in and they're like, all right, we're both doing it. We're both gonna do this together. And then they fly to Brisbane a week later, 2 weeks later, and join us. And I got to witness them and going through their transformations and shifting their bullshit stories of their past, and then just tuning into their power. And they've already seen shifts, and the fact that you guys you're part of a tribe and you're doing it together, and there's love there. There's you know, I just love being, you know, to see that. I love to see that and to experience that kind of love, and know that, you know, in my mission statement last year when I refined it, I said that I wanted to create a life where every city that I went to felt like home, no matter where it was on the planet. Going to Toronto this weekend, it feels like going home, because I'm going to be around people who are like family. Going to the UK in December, going to hang out with some of you, is going to be like family, because I've worked with you. I've walked you through the worst of it, and I've taken everyone through who's in the community, taken everyone through an overview. So I know the real you. If I've taken you through an overview, I know the authentic you. Because consider that when we go out and we're in social scenarios, we're all full of shit. It's all lies, right? We're half lies. We try to pretend we cover half of ourselves. But when I take you through an overview, and when you become a facilitator of overview, you get to witness people authentic. People who I've never met and then I have an overview with instantly become family, because they've shared their truth with me, and in a space of non-judgment and even playfulness and love. That's what's created, and I will cherish that. That's what I left my daily practice for, so that I could, my daily chiropractic practice for, so that I can experience that all over the world. And so I'm ready for the next level of training for those of you who are looking to become inspired leaders and create this tribe for yourselves. The first part of it is going through that going through that challenge, is going through the 90 days. You know, it's a 1-year program that I'm creating called the Inspired Leaders Mastermind. But the first 90 days is the powerfully aligned, powerfully aligned rituals and process that I take that all of these people that are commenting are going through right now. It's like a family. So you start that off there, and then the next part is learning how to learning the method yourself. And I train you how to take other human beings through their bullshit stories. It's the greatest form of service. You do it in the workshops. You get a taste of it in the workshops, where your facilitation training begins. From there, there's going to be a handful of you that start to get that feeling that, oh my God, that was so cool to be able to transform them. Rita did an amazing job. Rita from Australia, who is a kinesiologist, energy healer, and constant student of healing. She took a very difficult person through and helped her see it. And so it's those types of people that are really getting it and feeling that vibe of wanting to serve in that way, where I will cherry pick and have a conversation with and invite to be into my inner circle, where you're going to come to my home and you're going to learn, dance meditation and the overview meditation, and how to actually meditate while you're walking and dancing, and all of the things that I've learned from my mentors, John DeMartini, Byron Katie, and Joe Dispenza, who I'm so blessed with. I've been able to see all 3 of them this year. On Tuesday, I will get to say that in 2017, I sat in the classroom of my 3 great mentors, John DeMartini, Joe Dispenza, and Byron Katie, and I sat at their feet all of them this year, which just so happens to be my greatest year ever. The year that is coincidentally the year that I invested the most in my own mindset coaching, in my own guidance, in my own feedback, in my own team, to the tune of over $100,000 into this and into my team. And it's been the greatest investment ever, because I look around and I have nothing but gratitude for the life that I've created in just 1 year. So this whole Facebook Live started off as a broadcast for gratitude, and I hope that you can look at this as an opportunity for you to sit down. Let's do this together. I'm going to do this for you right now. I'll do a little bit of a meditation for you. I just want you to sit down right now for a moment and just breathe in and become aware of your breath. Become aware of where you are geographically in the universe, like on the planet, like Google Earth, and look where you are in the solar system. Look where you are on Earth, in the solar system, and in the galaxy, and then become aware of your breath in that space. It's a little reminder of who you are, and I call this the overview meditation. It starts this way, where we just sit and become aware of the space that's in our hearts and in our breath, and where that occupies in all of the universal space. Thank you, Joe Dispenza. And from there, we get connected with the emotions that we're having right now. So go ahead and get connected with any fears, any doubts, any uncertainties. Feel them in your body. Feel them in your body. Just get connected with them. Now, simultaneously, you're going to have the opposite happening. You have connection, you have support, you have praise. It's coming in a form you might not be recognizing yet. Go ahead and recognize that and feel that, whether it was your chat you had with your friend yesterday. For me, it was hanging out with my good buddy yesterday and then having dinner with my aunt and uncle, and knowing that today I'm having a couple client calls who are interested in my mastermind program. Just enrolled another person, Karen Tens from Australia. She just joined in. I'm going to be enrolling her. And just get connected. And then Thanksgiving dinner at my aunt's place, aunt and uncle, my parents, going to be with family. I'm just getting connected with the gratitude of that and the support of that and feeling that. Feel that in your body and become aware of where you are in outer space, and connected with the duality of those feelings and emotions and how both are there. Feel that for a moment. Watch the breath and any congestion that you're feeling in your solar plexus. Breathe it in and then As you breathe it out, let it go and feel that gratitude for all that's happening around you. Feel it. Good. Now, take that exact same feeling, now project it into your future self. What is it that you'd love to become? What intentions do you have for this week coming up, or this weekend, the rest of this weekend, this day? I have my intentions for this week, connecting with John, having an incredible overview experience, just loving the shit out of all the people that I get to had the privilege of working with, and really reconnecting with my team, feeling all of that. Feel the gratitude as though your prayers are answered, as though you're getting exactly what it is that you're intending. What would that feel like for everything to actually come true? Feel that in your body. And what I always do with Joe, as Joe did, is, you ask for a sign with universal force, God, whatever you want to call it, that you kind of have a two-way communication with it. And you ask for that sign that leaves you with no doubt that there was some sort of an intention was received, and the order is on its way. Ask for that sign, and let it come in a way that completely surprises you, that leaves you with no doubt that there was some sort of a co-creation. Awesome. Thanks for sticking around if you've been around this long. Show me some love if you got if you participated and you felt it. Any comments, any questions? Thank you so much. If you are in relationship limbo, career limbo, and you really, what I'm saying resonated with you, really check in, reach out, send me a private message, and let's continue the conversation. I'd love to see what's been blocking you. I have some questions that might, give you a breakthrough. We'll see exactly what's in the way, and my goal is to give you a profound breakthrough so that you can be inspired to take some sort of an action. Reach out to me, and love to see you. Jen, God bless you, hon. And we'll see you at the next perfect time. Please tag somebody that you know really needs this, and share this with your peeps. God bless. Sending you mad gratitude.